always wash your hands so you don't spread any regular local infection. We do not have any cases, 0 cases, of coronavirus as of now. We'd like to keep it that way, so we're being very careful at all of our borders. Another frequently asked question is, what about masks? The only group, the only sub-work group that needs masks are healthcare workers who are actually taking care of sick individuals so we don't have them getting sick and then passing that sickness on. All other classes do not have any requirements on masks. Masks will keep you, if you're coughing, from spreading illness. They will not protect you from illness coming in usually, and certainly not from people who are at low risk. So really, you do not need to wear masks at present. I know that that's
It's time we got smart people. I think we have to make sure that the policies match our need, and that's why I'm going to continue to recommend policies that will actually help stop COVID. Most importantly, mask wearing.
Saying that the pretest, one pretest, 72-hour pretest, would catch 70% of the positives. Yet all these other experts are saying the same thing, that it's not. You're gonna miss 70%, you're gonna catch 30%. Was that any indication? Why would the governor veer away from the dual test, the multiple testing? Is it because of the cost of the test?
No, actually. So, a couple things. First of all, they're wrong about only catching 30%. It's not correct. I mean, the tests that we're talking about have like 96 to 99% accuracy rate. So, and most people, remember, are not positive. So very few travelers are going to be walking around as asymptomatic, positive COVID people. Very few people. Then the tests are accurate. They just are accurate. They're not only...
Hello everyone, Josh Green, your Lieutenant Governor here. This is our Lieutenant Governor update the week of November 18th. Just got back from 4 to 5 days, plus an extra day of travel on the mainland. Cases of COVID are surging. They're at like 160,000 cases per day on the mainland. They're in big trouble. Their hospitals are filling up with patients. We, however, have the lowest rate of COVID in the country, the lowest rate, second lowest mortality rate. So what we've been doing is working, and you're doing an extraordinary job. So thank you for that. But everything I share with you now should be taken in context with what's going on in the mainland.
This is what they expect someone who has COVID to convalesce to run out their 14 days.
Awesome show as usual. We try to make awesome shows. But tonight we have a very special guest. And he's going to share with you. It's a friend of Charlie's, actually. So Charlie, why don't you share a little bit about our guest?
Well, this gentleman comes from the windward side on the island of Oahu. And he recently retired. I believe he retired 2 or 3 years ago from the Honolulu Police Department. And he moved to the island of Lanai. And tonight he's going to share his story. He was one of the first group of individuals that contracted the COVID virus on the island of Lanai. So he's going to walk us through that. And then he's going to subsequently walk us through a whole bunch of other stuff that's going to be very, very interesting. And I want you folks to kind of take notes on it because, he wanted to make sure that he shared his story and make sure what happened to him doesn't happen to anyone else. But that's, the gentleman's name is Mr. Niall Galera. Niall Galera, very soft-spoken individual on the island pod. But, out of 3,000, they were able to contain it to about 106 or 120, something like that.
That's the last number I heard, but I can't say for sure exactly where I got it from. I don't know if I should say, because, it's hip hop, hip and everything. But I have an idea, I guess it was 99% where I got it from, because when the contact tracing calls you, they ask you all these questions, right?
Right.
So, and you're talking about specific people and stuff, so you kind of have an idea where you could have contacted them from. So I don't think I should say, but obviously, if you guys put the investigative hats on, you probably can figure it out. It's not that hard, COVID, right? Positive. And I was like, wow, that's all these months. So, and then I got notified on Wednesday, basically the next day,
Yeah.
by the contact tracer. So,
Okay.
and the thing, my exposure was minimal at that point in time, and I had no symptoms. So he thought that I didn't need to be quarantined at that time because my exposure was minimal. I didn't have too much contact with this person. So I continued to work. I was good. Never had no symptoms, And I said I'll take the next COVID test on my day off because knowing that when you take the COVID test, you have to stay out of work until you get the results back. So I was waiting for my days off. So I took the test on on Wednesday, the 18th, I believe it was. Was it the 18th? I can't see. The 28th, I'm sorry, the 28th, October 28th, which is a Wednesday. I made an appointment, and next day, the 29th, next day, they called me up that I got tested positive. So at that point in time, they said I have to quarantine at home, which is fine. I stayed home. The contact tracer called me every day, see how was the temperature, to give me an oximeter to check my oxygen level, and no symptoms. And about a week later, I don't know, I feel kind of tired, I woke up in the morning, just walking to the living room, I felt like my breath was kind of labored. I was kind of tired, so I called the doctor about maybe 8 o'clock or so. They said, and I checked my oximeter, my oxygen level was like 85, 86. It should be about 95, what I'm saying, about that point. So he said, okay, now let me get back to you. It was about 8:30 or so. 5-10 minutes later, he called me back. He said, we'll fly you out, and I'm just coming half an hour. So I'm like, what? So I'm scrounging, making last minute phone calls, grabbing whatever we could grab. I didn't grab too much, just grabbed my wallet, my keys, my phone charger, a small bag, toothpaste, that's about it, toothbrush, and a small bag. Made a couple phone calls. Tried to find somebody to hurry up to watch my dog. Just me and my dog live with this, I live over here, but me and my dog. And then, like we said, within half an hour, the ambulance was outside my door. Took me to the Lanai Community Hospital. Went to different tests. They gave me chest X-rays, my EKG, blood tests, all these tests, getting me ready. They was waiting for a room to be available at Queens. And in the X-ray, they showed that I also had a pneumonia. I was talking to COVID, So that's when my breath was kind of labored, getting tired. So they was concerned about that. So even more so, they wanted me to fly out. So they asked me where I wanted to go, Maui or Queens. I said, well, my primary doctor's in Honolulu, so I think over Queens. So that's how I ended up there. So they flew me out to Queens on the air ambulance. Air ambulance. Must have been about 3:30, 4 o'clock when I actually got me to Queens. And there I stayed in the COVID ward, the COVID wing, the brand new wing, which was just recently modified or renovated. Beautiful place for a wing, a hospital, but high tech everything. It was pretty impressive actually. I think they spent like $95 million.
You said it was a modified. That's at zero pressure, right? That wing.
Negative pressure, yes, exactly. And they tried to minimize contact with me, so they have like a video outside, so they can talk without, they have a video screen, so they can talk without me entering the room. So what kind of keep my room was change band-aids, blood tests, and monitoring the out. They don't spend too much time in my room now. So that's how it was. It was a high-tech room. They spent a lot of money on it apparently. And I remember seeing it on the news. They opened it about a month ago. So it's kind of like, wow, I'm over here. I guess that's what you call intensive care, right? So. But I was fortunate because, could have been worse. I could have had a, ventilator down my throat, which I did not have, so it was best in that regard, So I went through the COVID treatment protocol, so to speak. They had a treatment plan, and that's what I was doing for those 5-6 days I was at the Queens.
Can you tell the people, I know you and I talked about it, but you were on the remdesivir protocol.
Correct. Right.
Okay.
So that consisted of I think it's a 5-day treatment plan, and they also give you like plasma, steroids, blood thinners, because I guess you can get subject to blood clots, right? And they always take you insulin because they think the steroids increases your sugar level, so they're always monitoring that. I mean, I got bruises all over my body. We test people, I think it was 24 hours a day.
Tell everybody what happened to you there from that night.
Okay, so they told me They discharged me. They gave out the discharge papers. I'm good to go. Department of Health. They brought a van to transport me to this hotel in Waikiki called the Waikiki Pearl, which is the COVID, place where you can keep people in quarantine.
Mhm.
So, it's in Osnahu and Kuhila Avenue area. So that's where I was going to stay that night. Or finish up my quarantine before I could fly back to Lanai. So it was okay. I mean, it's a regular, nothing fancy, but just a room. They fed you 3 meals a day. So this is Monday. So Tuesday, the next morning, I called my caseworker in Queens, and I just inquired about a CPAP machine because I use it to sleep at nights on Lanai. I have one at home to help me sleep. And she said they check on it, try to get back to me, and that's fine. So they look into it. They try to figure it out. So the day passes by. I didn't get any feedback. They said, and then as the phone call came, they said, if you want that, we try to get it to you, but you have to transfer it to another location where they have a medical person that can monitor you overnight. So I'm thinking, well, that's fine. I'm thinking, a sleep lab or something like that to monitor me because of my CPAP. So I remember it was 3 o'clock Monday afternoon. The van comes, picks me up, and takes you to another location, Evole. And that's what this place is called. It's called the Temporary Quarantine Isolation Center.
So that's on Tuesday, right?
TQIC, Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
Tuesday afternoon. So it's this place located in Evole area where they said they wanted me to finish up my quarantine because I requested a CPAP, and they said they have medical personnel, qualified medical personnel that can watch me overnight. So that was the idea of me getting transferred there.
Mhm.
So I got there about 4 o'clock Tuesday afternoon, and basically I walked in, I checked in, and they checked me out, a bunch of questions, of course. And I walked into the place and said, I ain't staying here. It wasn't, for me, conducive to healing and resting and feeling better about myself.
Niall, we have pictures and 2 videos.
Correct.
Which the place you're talking about, is it the video or the pictures?
Same place, pictures and
Oh,
videos.
that's-
That was my room. That was my room.
Okay, let me.
So folks, this is the trans. Yeah, there you go. This is the transitional quarantine facility that supposedly individuals go that need medical attention,
Right,
quarantine, and they're under constant observation.
right.
So this is this is the outside of it. There you go. And as you can see, it's there's another view, another shot. Okay.
Charlie, if you bring up the video is worth 1,000 words, you know what I'm saying?
Somebody just posted, Mahelani said, that's where the homeless stays.
Yeah.
I guess you could technically say I was homeless, right?
Yeah, that I mean, people, imagine, right? You just had a bout with COVID, 5-6 days in the hospital, medevac, and because you need a CPAP machine, they gotta move you to a location. They're telling you that you're gonna get monitored by medical personnel, and you pull up into this place. Seriously.
And the CPAP was never provided to me. Was never given to me. That was there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And all they did was come in every hour or so, check my temperature, ask me how I'm doing, and that's them monitoring me. I'm thinking to myself, well, you gonna watch me sleep overnight, or what's the scoops? You know what I'm saying? How you gonna monitor me?
Okay, so one of the viewers is asking, room.
This is my room.
Yeah.
Remember now, just get out of the hospital.
Yeah. This is his room. There is nothing in here. He's supposed to quarantine in this room. Nothing, no sheets, nothing. Look at the bathroom, not even toilet paper. And this is where they.
Actually, I think the disease you can get from that room is probably worse than COVID.
No, I was thinking the same thing too. Instead of COVID, I'm gonna worry about hepatitis, AIDS, or whatever kind of communicable disease you get over there.
Now, okay, I know that some news media is watching this tonight, some television news. That's embarrassing. That's not even humane.
No, that's not how you take care of Kupuna. That's not how you take care of somebody. That's not how you style. I mean, if the mayor stayed in there, then I would stay in there. But I don't think he would stay in there. To get better, it's not just to convalesce. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I just was in intensive care 2 days ago prior to that.
It is another view. See the living room.
My chair, my table, my subway sandwich.
Look at the chair. Look at the chair. Look at this.
This is what they expect someone who has COVID to convalesce to run out their 14 days. Just because he asked for a CPAP,
Which he never got.
which he never got.
And that's why I said I was willing to pay whatever it costs to get me out of that place. So it cost me $2,200 for 6 days. I'm paying it. You know what I mean?
So basically, folks, I know some of you, just by the questions, you get a hard time understanding. He's under the direction of the DOH because he was COVID positive. So the DOH is the one that has to clear him. That's why he cannot jump on plane right now. He cannot fly back to Lanai. But look at the quarters. They expected him to convalesce because he had asked for a CPAP machine. That's the part I cannot understand. That's happening right now. And we open up on the 15th. What is the triggers that will cause another shutdown of the state?
The triggers are moving past certain thresholds, and they're debating them right now. There's a lot of people are saying 7 per 100,000 population. When you exceed that number in consecutive days for a week, that you end up needing to shut down. That would be about, for us, that would be, well, on Oahu, that would be 70 a day. Well, on Oahu, that would be 70 a day. Well, on Oahu, that would be 70 a day. Well, on Oahu, that would be 70 a day. And our rolling average has been 117 per day for the last 7 days. That's what our...
Aloha everybody, Josh Green, Lieutenant Governor here. We're 2 days into the Safe Travels Hawaii program. It's been a pretty good experience so far. We've had over 16,000 individuals travel to Hawaii, and we've had a very small percentage of people not getting their tests properly. Individuals who don't have a test at all do go into quarantine. Today we had 96 cases.
Well, on Oahu, that would be 70 a day.
96 cases.
Well, on Oahu, that would be 70 a day.
We had 96 cases. We have 96 individuals in the hospital, which is the lowest number in many months.